Hello, everyone. Tracy here. It's been a long time. I took a break from the Your Personal Journey with Food podcast because I just needed some time. I think my last broadcast, I just felt like I needed some space. And I had written a post that I would be gone for a couple of weeks because I wanted to rebrand the show and figure out something new. I think the reality of it was that I just needed to step back and work on moving forward in other areas of my life and trust that when it was time to bring the podcast back, I could and I would figure out a way to make it happen in a very successful way. So some things had come along that helped prompt me to move forward with the broadcast again. I had someone reach out to me that I graduated from IIN with, and she wanted to meet up with me and, had an idea of something we could do together that I think will happen. And then I had a referral from someone that I had on my show probably 3 years ago who sent someone to me to be a guest. And this person, I decided I had to say yes to, which meant I had to bring the show back. So with that, I will not be doing shows live and they'll randomly be scheduled. That's just the kind of schedule that I need right now in my life, but I'm going to be treating them as live. So again, like in the past, anything can happen during a broadcast. I will not be editing. And so I've already recorded a broadcast that will come out next week. And there's a couple fun things that, of course, would happen. Which is something I loved about the show, being really spontaneous. And if you've watched my show, I've had to, jump under the desk and plug in my computer because I'd forgotten to do that. I've had the lights go out. I've had the cats meowing. I've had whatever happen. So I wanted to keep that feel with the show. So anyway, I'm happy to be coming back. I feel good. I struggled with what to say tonight, but I just knew I needed to say hello. And just that it's time. Again, I made some changes and I was trying to do this without glasses and I can't. So I'm going to have to put the glasses on because I can't even read my writing. So I already talked about that. So I'll still be working on, again, topics of the circle of life, the wheel of life. So I'm still going to have those guests on that have really everything to do with food that are other parts of your life. So as we know, our lives are integrated. Food affects our finances. Finance affects our food. Relationships affect our finances. Relationships affect our food. Everything impacts and affects each other. So I'll be continuing to find guests for the show to help you in those areas. Yes, so I think tonight too, I wanted to talk about the aspect, and just because it relates to me as well as many of my friends and my loved ones, that again, how do you move forward and create new beginnings after something significant has changed in your life? That can be loss of a loved one, loss of a child, loss of a job. It can be, losing your home, a pet. It can be even wonderful new things that come in and impact your life, and how we can feel unsettled or unsure of ourselves, on how to move forward and moving with life, which is always changing. And I know for me, my brain doesn't really like change. It wants to know what's happening. Where are we going? I want things specific. And if that's not the way it's going to be, then stress, and all of these things. And I've had to really, really, really learn this last year and a half on how to let go, how to be okay not being in control, how to surrender to the unknown, even though I think I have a plan, how to surrender to the unknown and trusting in a higher source, higher power, again, depending on what spirituality or religious area you're coming from, that will mean different things. But really, I finally, I guess they say sometimes you break, what does it take to to get someone to let go and release, and then thus open up an amazing opportunity to a new life, and sometimes it is trauma, it is grief, it's something significant like that. And that's what's happened to me, and but I've just decided, and I'm hoping this will help others, that I'm asking that I know what I think I would love for the next part of my life, for the beginning and moving forward. But I know I really don't have control over exactly how that's going to play out. And so I'm asking for it to come in a way that's right for me. And it releases my tension and my need for things to be exactly the way I want them to be. Again, I have goals, I have my plans, and I have a direction I would like to go, but I've also released that incessant anxiety that can be associated with that, needing to be in control. And one thing I've learned is that none of us really are, and I'm okay with that. So, so in my process of creating a new beginning and moving forward, I've really implemented a pretty strong meditative and meditation practice. I'm not perfect at it every day, but I do my best to calm my mind, calm my body, and be okay being in the present. And it doesn't mean I like the present sometimes. It doesn't mean I chose the way things have turned out. But through that, then I find that I can then make decisions that aren't related to denial, or I can make decisions that aren't, how do I want to say it, where you're clinging, or you're anxiety ridden, or or I'm basing them on fear. But I'm able to move forward in a much more open and accepting way. So that is something I've really been working on, and where I've been putting a lot of my time in, and focusing on being present, So it's interesting. I believe, I guess, anyone that goes through significant change, again, like I said, it doesn't have to be death. It doesn't have to be something sad. It can be something that's life altering, and just an incredible way, really makes us become another person. We aren't the same person we were 10 days ago, even a year and a half ago. I'm definitely not the same person. And sometimes I feel sad. Am I walking away from this person that has gotten me to where I am today? But in an interesting way, I'm just so ready to continue to grow as a person, continue to walk my purpose, which I truly believe is doing what I do as a career, and doing these broadcasts. And I know for me to continue to do these things, I have to continue to grow and step into it, and be okay with the unknown. So again, if you're someone that is working on yourself or working through trauma, working through a loss, I highly recommend, that coming to present at your time. Everyone goes through change and handles change differently. Um, I definitely had in the beginning, I think I was totally foggy. I also think the stress made me very susceptible, and I got COVID soon after Dave passed. But I remember those first days, I just walked. I went from a very athletic, very strong person to all of a sudden someone that all I could do is walk around the block. And then as I got a little stronger, I would just go and roam. I was like a zombie walking through my neighborhood, and did baby steps to get moving. And I'm still not where I was before in terms of strength. I still don't have the stamina. I've lost muscle. And that one side of my mind can get really picky, but I've gotten better at managing her. That negative Tracy is that I know that I know what I need to do, right? And I need to give myself the opportunity if I want that strength back, if I want to be able to do the things that I was doing at that level again, I just give myself the opportunity to start doing those things again. And so in a way, I just feel really, I don't know if the word child makes sense, but like I'm a new person going out to find the things I love to do, and regain again the strength, the physical strength I used to have. So going through trauma, going through grief, change can throw you totally off your game. Again, it doesn't matter. It can be something really, really wonderful. That's just, if it's a life change, it can throw you off your course a little bit and how you care for yourself sometimes. And the great part is you could always have a new beginning and you can always move forward. So, other areas that have helped me to move forward and progress is again, just knowing I didn't do this very good every day, was my nutrition. One of the amazing things again was the outreach that everyone had, and bringing me food and bringing and wine to come over and have wine with me. And all of a sudden I realized I was drinking wine every night. And then I made an association that, because I know for me, alcohol gives me anxiety. It makes me feel paranoid. It just messes with my gut, which then messes with my brain, or messes with my brain, messes with my gut, and it makes me feel worse. And so, a piece of advice I have is during, again, something that is traumatic for you, if you want to numb yourself with some type of, then, like I said, I was drinking wine or other means, it can actually make things worse and make you feel worse. So one of the best things I did was realize that, wow, I usually don't drink wine every night, and I definitely don't split a bottle of wine with people every night. And I figured that out, and I just began to feel so much better. So that's another piece of information that I discovered through this process. So my nutrition, I didn't want to eat a lot. And sometimes even to now, it's a gal who helps me with my social media photos and stuff. She's like, would you please send pictures of your food? And my big joke is like, I make ugly, healthy food, and so you probably don't see many food pictures from me, because I am literally in this mode of like, I just trying to make something good for me to eat, and it's not attractive. And she says, that's fine. But, reining in and making sure at least I had the ability to nourish myself, and know that I needed to give my body something that it could create healthy cells with. And so the decision, like drinking wine every night, the decision to not go down old paths, like before I was even a health coach, go down those paths of eating really poorly, um, I knew was just going to make me emotionally more distressed. And then it would make me more upset with myself. And then I also know my body just feels horrible. And so, honoring my body, if you honor your body and give it resources of real food, doesn't have to be expensive. Like I said, you guys, I'll start doing pictures. But I'm literally searing a chicken breast in a small pan with some garlic or onion or something like that. And then as that's almost done, I'll drop in some broccoli and put a lid on it, and I eat it out of the pan because I just haven't had the context to put a plate down on the table all the time. And so that's a thing where, a little creativity and realizing too that I don't have to do things the way I always have. I can modify how I'm doing things the way I need to right now in my new circumstances. So again, you can always change. You don't have to keep doing things the exact same way. But in terms of nutrition, if you can figure out a way, doesn't have to be complicated, to give your cells what they need to do what they need to do. Because again, stress will just play havoc on your adrenal system, plays havoc on your immune system. You can't think well, and so fueling your body, thus fueling your brain, everything is really important. So that's been very helpful for me to stay on track with my nutrition. And the next thing was getting my physical activity back. So when I first started, I tried to do kettlebell swings. It was interesting. And that's a very powerful move. And first, I just started crying. It was the weirdest thing. I'd never experienced anything like that. I couldn't do them. It was like, I think because I knew I had to demand power from my body, I had to let that bam, and you have to push up with those hips, and it's not a back exercise, everybody. So if you're doing kettlebell swings with your back, talk to me. I'll help you get the right form. But anyway, I started to cry. And so I had to start with little things. Again, back to the treadmill, back to walking on the street, on the streets of my neighborhood. Then I finally got my dumbbells out and I just started to do some weights, tried to do a couple push-ups, and it was awful. Nothing like I used to be able to do. So, but kindness, bringing kindness towards your body, because physical strength, you need to be able to command your muscles to do something. So it's not just your muscles, but your brain has to be driving, strong thoughts to those muscles. So it can take a little bit of time to be able to get that back. So still not 100%, but I'm getting there, right? So physical activity, really important. And then I remember one night I was laying in bed and I started getting scared and feeling like I had no control over what was going on. And I realized I kind of had two choices. I could go down that path and wallow and allow my life to go totally south, and people would probably understand. And I realized I don't want that for myself. So I knew I was going to have to learn to be a new Tracy, be a new me, and be willing to go through what it's going to take, good days and bad days. And I knew I did not want to give up on myself. And I also knew I didn't want to give up on my family and those that loved me and my friends. So it's something, if you are stuck and you just can't get out of this aspect of this grief, and you notice that you're allowing part of your mind to say, this is better, let's just stay here and not move forward. Do whatever you can, to turn the tides, because I realize I do have purpose here. I do want to be here. I do want to be with my family and my friends, and I would love to still achieve some things in my life, right? So that meant I couldn't choose the other way of abusing my body, of all those things that I could have done, decide that I couldn't work. I did give myself time off, which I'm so grateful I had the opportunity to do that. I couldn't, I just feel so blessed, but I knew I couldn't be, I can't do that for the rest of my life. I had to get back up and I had to figure it out. And I am so grateful for everyone that supported me as I did that. So decide that you can do this, okay? The other part, again, I'm going to go back, trauma to something incredible happening where maybe you're just, oh my gosh, this is so great. And you still can't think. And then you start making decisions that don't make sense. It can be the same thing, getting yourself centered into, and that's where meditation really helps, getting yourself to settle in and regroup, and again, surrender to the new situation. But at the same time, you honor your nutrition, you honor your sleep, your physical activity, things like that, so that you can maintain and or improve your health, right? Let's see. Again, realizing I have purpose. So realizing if you're here, you do have purpose. You have a reason to be here, and your life matters, and people around you love you, and you matter. And so even if that's a small voice in the beginning that tells you that it doesn't have to be a loud voice, it can just be a small voice. That little voice is, I think, back to every significant thing in my life. That little voice, and I wrote about it in the book, just said, Tracy, you can do this. So having that, as I say now, I am excited for the unknown. I'm excited that, tomorrow, I kind of know what's going to go on in my day, but something cool could happen, something, it doesn't even have to be big, but a little thing that I didn't expect to learn, or a little, instead of turning right, I turn left and I run into a friend, or that maybe I hadn't seen in a long time. There can be something really cool that's going to happen tomorrow if we look for it. Okay. The other thing that's helped me is to kind of release my ego. And I think that's a lot of that aspect of the ego is what keeps us alive, keeps us kind of going. It's a protector, but letting it relax. And again, trusting the unknown, and just trusting that it'll be okay. And sometimes it's hard for me to say that, but I know it will. I wasn't going to get teary. So I just knew I wanted to come back, and I wanted to just, say hello to everyone and explain kind of where I've been at, what I've been up to, what's going on, and why I was gone again. And I'm working on rebuilding and doing some stuff with my my group programs again. And so I finally feeling strong enough, and that I also have the mindset that I can do this again now. So with that, just again, it's time and for new beginnings and for moving forward. And my hope for you, if you are someone who is grieving or had loss of any kind, but it's just on your heart, that I send love to you. And the aspect of losing someone is hard, and I've lost my eldest sister as well. About 10 some years ago, to ovarian cancer. But I love her, and I think of her often. And I realize too, even, with Dave, my relationship is just different now. Right. And so, trust that you can recover in your time, and you'll recover, in your way. And, and my heart goes out to you. So anyway, I wasn't really scripted. I just had some notes, and so I don't even know how to end this podcast. So, but that's okay. All right, everyone. So I'm excited. You'll be seeing a broadcast coming up here soon. If with my guest who I recorded yesterday, I'll be putting that out, I think, early next week. And also, if you could, in the comments below, or direct message me, I would love to know some topics that you would be interested in hearing about. And again, it can be finances, spirituality, of course, health, fitness, cooking, relationships, education, anything that is in your circle of life. Okay. And because it all integrates with each other. We aren't just living in pie shells. We are in pie slices. Everything connects. So I would love to know what you would like to learn about. If you would like to be a guest on the show, I'd love it if you would reach out. Let me know what you would like to talk about. Or if you know someone that would be a great guest, I would love to know who they are. And with that, have a great night, and I will see you again soon. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye. Here's to new beginnings and moving forward. Bye-bye. Maybe if I can turn this off. Where'd my mouse go? Okay.